Welcome back for Saxon Math Intermediate 5, Lesson 4, Comparing Whole Numbers. Our objectives for this lesson. After this lesson, you should be able to compare two whole numbers, order several whole numbers from least to greatest, and use digits and a comparison symbol to write a comparison given in words. Some review from the previous lesson. Remember, we talked about expanded form, and in order to write a number in expanded form, we break that number into its place values. So here's a little example to help you remember that. 1,986 in expanded form would be 1,000 plus 900 plus 80 plus 6. And then we also talked about place value, a lot of times being visualized using money. Today's new concept, we're going to talk a little bit about numbers. So the closer a counting number is to 0, the smaller the number. That changes when we talk about negative numbers, but we're not there yet. So you'll have to just remember this for now, that the closer we get to 0, the smaller the number is. So example 3 is less than 9 because 3 is closer to 0 than 9 is. We use comparison symbols to show this relationship between two numbers. These are the comparison symbols that we use. You've probably used them before. We're going to talk a little bit more about those now. So if the two numbers are exactly the same, we use the equal to sign, which just looks like an equals from a math problem. Here's an example. And you would read this as 5 is equal to 5. If the number on the left is larger, we use what's called the greater than sign. So here's an example of that. If we were comparing 6 and 2, we would use that symbol, and you would read that as 6 is 6 is greater than 2. If the number on the right is larger, we would use what's called the less than sign. So here's an example of that. If we were comparing 1 and 7, we would use that symbol, and we would say that 1 is less than 7. It is important to remember, and I'll remind you of this over and over again as we do these problems this year, that the order of the numbers given to you in the problem matters. So for example, if the book asks you to write 12 is greater than 10 using digits and a comparison symbol, you must start with the number 12 when you write your answer. So your answer would be this, 12 is greater than 10, not this. And the reason you can't use this is because this does not say 12 is greater than 10. Even though mathematically this is correct, it does not say 12 is greater than 10. It says 10 is less than 12. So that is not what the book asked for. The book asked for 12 is greater than 10. That's why this would not be the correct answer. That's all for this lesson today. So make sure you do your practice problems, and if you have any questions, post them in that discussion section, and we will see you for lesson 5.